Good man, Tongman said. I sorry you have this trouble.
He was standing still now between the rows. It was time for the plea of acquittal, and he was conscious of the need to tread carefully. The case was won. He knew it from the faces round him. His fee was sure, his reputation enhanced. But a wise man thinks of the future. The shanty was strong and likely to get stronger. There were warriors as well as traders, whereas he was a trader only. It was highly inadvisable to make enemies of them. He had caused offence already, but this had been unavoidable. Now he would do what he could to mend matters. He cleared his throat and began, addressing himself to Billy. There were still elements of mystery in the business. They must all feel that, but one thing was abundantly clear. Whoever had put the fetish on Hanmo's roof, it had not been Eboti. There was no case against Eboti at all. Arifa had seen a man pick something up, but that man had not been Eboti because he was on his way to cut cabbage at the time, and he was only a mortal man and could not be in two places at once. However, Arifa's mistake was natural. It was early morning, the distance considerable. The identity of the man she had seen would perhaps never be known. Possibly, if he resembled Eboti, it was the ghost of one of Eboti's relatives come to pick up something he needed. The fact that Hanmo had known exactly when and where to look for the fetish could be explained by some message that had come to him in a dream or vision, which had now disappeared from his recollection. Such things were known to occur. He, Tongman, was very far from wishing to make accusations against anyone. It was enough for him that Eboti should be cleared. On this, Tongman rested his case and returned the stick. The matter was put to the vote by Billy, as custom required, though now it was the merest formality. The show of hands in favour of acquittal was so overwhelming that a count of those against was not deemed necessary. The shanty contingent stalked off in stony silence, not waiting for the formal verdict. Billy pronounced Eboti not guilty of witchcraft, and within a very few minutes, the clearing, scene of so much excitement, was once again quite empty of people. Chapter 51. Relief at Eboti's acquittal overlaid at first all other feelings in Paris. Before long, however, uneasiness came seeping back, something of that cold and half-incredulous dismay with which he had greeted Hanmo's plea. Certainly the verdict had been a victory for truth. Tongman's advocacy, the fortunate fact of Kudi's presence at the graveyard, the good sense of the people, these had combined to triumph. But tyranny could take many such blows and still prevail, and it was this terrible resilience and recuperative power that was most in Paris's mind in the hours that followed. For all Tongman's attempts to gloss things over in his summing up, it was evident that there had been a conspiracy, that Hanmo, with the connivance of Arifa and the probable complicity of Danka and Kireku, had practiced to incriminate an innocent man and make a slave of him. The more Paris considered the matter, the more convinced he became that Kireku was the key to it. He was cleverer and more able than the other two shanty, and more far-seeing, a natural leader. He had been careful not to seem directly involved in the case, and he had taken no direct part in the pleading, but Paris felt sure he must have known of the enterprise and given it his blessing in some measure. However, the extent to which he might have encouraged Hanmo remained in doubt, and it was suddenly clear to Paris that this element of doubt could provide a basis for talk between them. It would be better to go immediately, if he were to go at all, while he was likely to find Kireku still at home. All the same, the sun was well down in the sky before he finally made up his mind. Kireku's hut was on the southern edge of the settlement, the side furthest from the lagoon. Like Tongman, he had built a second hut, alongside the first, for storing his trade goods. Libby emerged from this as Paris approached and called out, though whether in greeting or to notify his master was not clear. Amansa, Kireku's woman, whom he shared with no one, sat outside the hut, shelling acorns and milling them between two blocks of wood, smooth and polished from much use. She glanced up, but made no other acknowledgement of Paris's presence. Kireku appeared at the entrance, looked gravely at Paris for some moments without speaking, then motioned him to enter. He was naked to the waist, and his chest and shoulders gleamed with the acorn